Welcome to the Trade Adjustment Assistance Workers Benefit Orientation. Trade Adjustment Assistance is a federal program that assists U.S. workers who have lost their employment due to foreign trade. This program provides services to the affected workers an opportunity to obtain new skills, credentials, resources, and support that may be necessary to become reemployed. To be eligible for TAA services, the worker must have a qualifying separation with the TAA certified company that is within the eligibility dates of the TAA certification. In some cases, there will be workers that may have future documented separation dates and may be eligible for classroom training and employer-based training prior to the layoff. TAA offers a variety of benefits and services to support TAA certified workers in their search for reemployment. These services include case management services, training, job search allowances, relocation allowances, reemployment trade adjustment assistance, and healthcare coverage tax credit. The 8 case management services that are provided are the following: comprehensive assessments of skill levels and service needs, development of an individual service strategy, ISS, to identify employment goals and objectives, information on available training and counseling, how to apply for financial aid, short-term pre-vocational services such as development of learning new skills, communication skills, and interviewing skills, individual career counseling, provision of employment statistics relating to relevant market areas, information relating to the availability of support services. For training, job search assistance, or waiver from training, it is required to complete comprehensive assessments and individual service strategies to be completed as part of the approval process. The allowable types of training in TAA are classroom training, on-the-job training, customized training, apprenticeship programs, post-secondary education, prerequisite education, and remedial education. Training may be approved on a full or part-time basis, but to receive TRA eligibility, full-time basis is required. Before any type of enrollment into training, eligibility is required and must be determined and approved by West Michigan Works. The 3 types of employer-based trainings are on-the-job training, customized training, and registered apprenticeship. On-the-job training is a hands-on method of teaching the skills, knowledge, and competencies needed for employees to perform a specific job within the workplace. An OJT contract must be in place prior to the first day of the new employment. The TAA program funds 50% of your wages up to 104 weeks while in an approved OJT. Customized training is a training that is designed to meet the special requirements of an employer. That may also include a group of employees that is conducted with a commitment by the employer to employ an individual with the successful completion of training. The TAA program funds 50% of classroom training up to 130 weeks while in an approved customized training. Registered Apprenticeships is a program of the United States Department of Labor that connects job seekers looking to learn new skills with employers looking for qualified workers. The TAA program funds 100% of training for up to 130 weeks and covers the following: classroom instruction, tools, uniforms, equipment, and books that are required of the apprenticeship. Classroom training can be college or vocational courses, prerequisite training approval if required for classroom training program. Remedial training can be approved as well, alone or as part of classroom training programs. The TAA program covers 100% of tuition, fees, books, supplies, and equipment that is necessary to be successful with completing the approved classroom training. While in TAA approved training, there is a benchmark requirement that will be completed at least every 60 days for the entire duration of training. The benchmark reviews will be monitored by West Michigan Works. The review will indicate that the job seeker is maintaining satisfactory academic standing and is on schedule to complete their training within the time frame identified in the approved training plan. In any time one or both benchmarks were failed to be met, it could result in a training modification to the training program or removal from the training program. To receive an approval on training, it is required that all of the following 6 training approval criteria are met. No suitable employment is available. You would benefit from appropriate training. There is a reasonable expectation of employment following completion of training. Training is reasonably available. You are qualified to undertake and complete such training. Training is available at a reasonable cost. Trade readjustment allowances is available to continue to provide income support while you are participating in full-time training. The amount of each weekly TRA payment is based on the weekly unemployment insurance benefit amount you already have received. You must have been entitled to receive UI benefits before you may receive TRA, and you must have exhausted your UI entitlement. In order to receive TRA payments, an individual must be enrolled in a TAA-approved training or have an approved training waiver with the result of entering TAA-approved training. There is a deadline for TRA, which is as follows: 26 weeks from certification or 26 weeks from layoff, the greater of the two, and be either in training or have a training waiver. To keep in mind, only one training is allowed per person per certification, regardless which training you entered. Training is a lifetime benefit, which means you can use this benefit now or later, but keep in mind eligibility and TRA timelines apply. This monetary benefit covers necessary expenses incurred while seeking employment outside your normal commuting area if employment in a sustainable job where you are likely to remain employed and earn family-sustaining wages is not available in your area. Job search allowances reimburse 90% of the costs of allowable travel, up to a maximum of $1,250. An application for a job search allowance must be submitted before your job search begins and within 365 days of your layoff or certification, whichever is later, or within 182 days after the conclusion of training. This monetary benefit reimburses you for approved expenses when you must move to a new area to earn family-sustaining wages and employment outside of your normal commuting area. Relocation allowances may include 90% of the reasonable and necessary expenses in moving you, your family, and household goods to a new area following your reemployment outside of your normal commuting area. In addition, you may receive a lump sum payment equal to 3 times your average weekly wage, up to a maximum payment of $1,250. You must submit an application for a relocation allowance before your relocation begins and within 425 days of your layoff or certification, whichever is later, or within 182 days after the conclusion of training. Eligible individuals can receive a tax credit to offset the cost of their monthly health insurance premiums for 2020 if they have qualified health coverage for the HCTC. A qualified health plan offered through a health insurance marketplace is not a qualified coverage for the HCTC. HCTC is available each month you are TRA or RTAA eligible. You are either collecting TRA payments, unemployment payments, or RTAA payments. Please note, the HCTC has been extended through December 31st, 2021 and is subject to change after this date. Reemployment Trade Adjustment Assistance, also known as RTAA, is a wage subsidy for workers age 50 or over who are reemployed at an annual wage of $50,000 or less. The wage subsidy has a cap of 2 years or $10,000, whichever comes first, that is available to reemployed older workers and covers a portion of the difference between a worker's new wage and their old wage. To utilize this benefit, the worker must complete an TAA application at West Michigan Works and submit the last full pay stub from the TAA certified company and a new employment verification. Income support is available in the form of weekly cash payments to workers who are enrolled in full-time training courses and have exhausted their unemployment insurance. The three types of TRA payments are Basic TRA, Additional TRA, and Completion TRA. Basic TRA benefits can be paid if the adversely affected worker is enrolled in training or qualifies for and receives a waiver of training. Additional TRA is only paid if the adversely affected worker is participating in an approved TAA training program. Completion TRA may be paid to the adversely affected worker who has exhausted Basic TRA and Additional TRA and are still enrolled in a TAA approved training. Depending on how many weeks you have used in your unemployment and/or Basic TRA payments and when you entered TAA training, you may not have TRA payments for the full amount of your training. Every unemployment benefit year, a new claim must be completed regardless if you are receiving unemployment or TRA payments. If you are receiving TRA payments while in TAA training full-time and earn wages over the TRA payment amount, only the difference of the two will be used in the calculation of reduction of that week's TRA payment. If you have any questions regarding your unemployment and/or TRA payments or RTA payments, you are to contact the TRA unit at 1-866-500-0017. Please contact the West Michigan Works location you would like to gain more information from and registering to utilize your TAA benefits from.